Hi, how are you? My name is Houston and welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well. It is a beautiful day here in Seattle. Clear skies. It has been for about the past week. I just got back from the gym, ate a little bit of breakfast. I planned to have a video out earlier this week than today, but you know how it is. Life just happens. Pretty busy week for me. So let's play some Stellar Blade and get into it. All right, that's my third cup of coffee today, so I think I'm going to call it on that one. Here we are back on the game that I'm probably not going to talk about too much because, you know, there's just other things. But I will say that this game has been good. The best part about this game has definitely been the combat, and that has held true from the very beginning. It's super engaging. It's just a lot of fun. And I think I'm nearing the end of the game. At least it seems that way. I've definitely been infected by the search every area and try and do every side quest virus. So that has been, you know, pretty much the same experience as it is with every other game that I've ever played. Like, oh, hey, what's back here? Oh my God. Oh, okay. Just an advanced nano element. Yeah, sure. That's going to help me so much, even though I have so many upgrades already. See, look, a secret chest. Oh my God. Okay, forget the game though. Last night, Friday, in Seattle, we were able to see the Northern Lights. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Northern Lights before. I haven't before this, but I think that that might be like a core memory in my life now. Being able to go on the roof of my apartment and see these giant magnetic storms. I'm like speechless about it. I took some photos on both my camera and on my phone, and I'll throw those up on the screen if you're curious, but there was a point where for I kid you not, about 60 seconds it was like an eclipse where the colors in the sky peaked right above my girlfriend and I, and it was just it was so remarkable. Like I can't even describe how vivid it was, even with the naked eye. To think that 93 million miles away, this giant star is sending out these massive coronal ejections, and the solar wind is making its way all the way to Earth. And then like these charged particles are interacting with the gas in the atmosphere to make all these colors. Like things like that are seriously just unbelievable. I feel like in those moments, if you really just take a step back, you are reminded of the fact that you're literally on like a giant rock just falling through space. And, you know, the sun, again, it's 93 million miles away. And it's just one of those feelings where I feel like it brings out this primal nature. I mean, imagine being one of our ancestors, you know, even 200 years ago, or like imagine 5,000 years ago. You look up into the sky and you see these insane colors. You see these blues, these purples, these reds. You see these waves of light flowing through the sky. Dude, I'd probably invent a religion too. I'd probably think that there are gods watching me as well. Again, it really is hard to describe. And if you're someone who was lucky enough to be in the path of the lights and you were able to see it for yourself, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I saw this tweet where somebody said something along the lines of, a lot of young scientists were probably born tonight. You know, I already love science so much, but I think as a child, if I looked up into the sky and saw the Northern Lights, I would want to figure out why these things are happening. Like, and why is it happening tonight? Why doesn't it happen all the time? And when I think about something like that, even with the perspective of somebody who's 29, I think to myself that there are so many people out there that really forget to have that childlike wonder about anything in their life. I do firmly believe that you can have that feeling with almost anything. You know, when you're an adult and you look up into the sky and you see something like that, you're like, I cannot believe that this is real. I can't believe that I'm seeing this right now. And you're filled with this, you know, this feeling that is indescribable. It's a very good reminder that you can have that feeling really anytime. It's just about harnessing it, and it's just about reminding yourself of it when these events like total solar eclipses happen, or you can see the northern lights out of your backyard, it's really easy to remember that stuff. The hard part is remembering it when you're just, on your way to work, or you're doing you're doing the dishes, some menial task. There's this saying that I always try and remind myself of, and it's something like, be an adult when you have to, like pay your bills, figure out retirement, all that stuff. But be a kid when you can. And obviously don't act like a kid, but retain that wonder that I'm talking about. Retain the ability to look at things like with a why perspective. Like Richard Feynman talked about that a lot. When you're a kid, you're always looking at things like, oh, well, why is the sky blue? I'm gonna fucking die right now. Jesus. Too busy talking about the sky being blue. It could be, why is the sky blue? It could be, how do cars work? Well, why do they work? And then just following that chain down further and further and further. And that sort of stuff is illuminating. It brings you this sense of understanding for the world that you can't get by simply taking everything at face value. And yeah, at the end of the day, you're not going to be an expert on everything, but to me, that's okay. Because I think that when you go into the world with this sense of curiosity, then you're very likely to be a much happier person, because you're not stuck inside this loop of thinking that you know everything. And I feel like now more than ever, it's probably really easy to get stuck in that loop. And speaking of appreciating things, like while you can, I finally caught up on Berserk. I think it took me, probably like 2, maybe 3 months, because I was just reading before bed most of the time. 376 chapters, I think. It almost like brings tears to my eyes. I mean, it did bring tears to my eyes when I read Mira's last chapter. 364, I believe it was. Not only the content of the chapter, because it was a pretty big reveal, but just knowing that, you have this person who devoted, his whole life to this story, and obviously put every single bit of that life that he had into it. It's just remarkable to see someone who has that much commitment to something, from the illustrations to the stories. And I know that there's this consensus on the internet about a lot of Berserk fans being kind of insufferable, and I totally get that. I have noticed a lot of those people since starting to read the series myself, and it does kind of suck to be, grouped up with a fandom that's perceived that way. But at the end of the day, every single person, every individual is going to take from a story what they can from it. And if, making crass jokes and making fun of the trauma of the characters, albeit, they're not real people, but still, if you really respect the series, then you would respect those characters or that series that mangaka created as if they are real people. At least that's the way that I think about it. I wonder if Dark Souls started the whole, the Crystal Lizard thing, because it seems like pretty much every single Souls-like game, or not specifically Souls-like, but games that are, Souls-like, I guess, whatever. Yeah, we'll just use it. I know it's kind of an umbrella term at this point. It's actually a term that is used so much that it kind of doesn't really mean anything now. It's like almost analogous with just saying something is difficult, even though this game isn't that difficult. I'm just thinking of that little balloon robot. It gives you rare items in the same way that the crystal lizards do in Dark Souls, for instance. I'm just wondering where that came from. I can't really take my little flying robot seriously when it's got bunny ears on it, but you gotta respect the drip. Honestly, one of my least favorite tropes about games is when you kill an enemy and then half their body spawns back and you have to kill the enemy again. So the ultra training is going well. I'm still working on the whole building up to volume thing. I got about 4.5 months, so we still got time. The main thing that I'm focusing on now is still the rehabbing of my hamstring, which, it might be my upper calf at this point. I'm not sure, but I did sign up for PT. I think having a good sports physio will probably help me get that last, I don't know, maybe 30% that I don't think that I'm really getting by self-rehabbing. I found a lot of great exercises that have helped me heal. I was thinking that I need to keep doing these rehab exercises. And I definitely do. But I think something that I heard in a podcast like really spoke to me, where there was this guy who was a cyclist and he got hit. I think his name was Michael O'Brien. And after he got hit and basically like broke his whole entire body, there was a thought in his mind where it's like, well, obviously I'm never going to be able to cycle again. I'm never going to be able to run again. I'm going to be like wheelchair bound or paralyzed for the rest of my life. There was a point where he was doing physical therapy for so long, and his physical therapist told him that I'm not going to see you anymore until you try and get back on the bike. Doesn't, you know, you don't have to perform at the same level you did before the accident, but you need to get back on the bike and you need to focus on actually doing the exercise that you're trying to rehab for. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like I'm kind of shying away from building up my running mileage again because I don't want to re-injure myself. But the key is to just go slowly into it. So I've been working on that. I'm capping all my runs at about 5 miles right now and running at about like a 9 or 9:30 pace. Normally, for reference, I run between like, you know, 6:40 and like 7:30. And it does really suck because, you know, when you're used to running a certain pace, like you want to keep going fast. On top of training as well, it's really tough for me to actually get the time to do it because it's summertime, and if you work construction, you know that summertime means a lot more hours. So like minimum 10-hour days, and I'm on a new job site where it's just gnarly. We're on like 2 massive hills. Like, I don't even know the percentage of the grade, but it's at least 20%. It's, oh my god, you just got smashed. I'm just talking about work, and these guys are interrupting everything, like killing my robot maid thing. So this is how crazy these hills are. In a 10-hour work day the other day, and obviously, you know, take this with a grain of salt because wearables are, you know, they're not super accurate. They're not perfect, but I think they're good enough. And I have both the Oura Ring and the Apple Watch. And it said in those 10 hours, I walked up 70 flights of stairs. Which is, that's, I mean, I don't really have a like marker for like if that really is a lot, but to me that sounds like quite a bit, especially for like how sore I've been. Walking up 70 flights of stairs when I've been doing 2 leg days a week at the gym too. Not good. Not good at all. Something's fishy about these flowers. Oh my god, sniped. I love Ghost in the Shell. All right. Okay. Oh, my dumbass needs to jump over it. Kind of a cheat to use these burst attacks because they just like like I go into the animation and then they can't do anything. See, this is what I was talking about. I mean, I would have to parry this thing a lot, and I mean, I'm not Ong Ball, but you know, like, I don't know. I guess learning certain patterns is what helps you like truly be able to parry things in this game. See, I mean, like right there, I feel like I'm parrying it, but I guess I'm not. Sure, this isn't a very good run, but I'll try. Oh, wait, it's not even taking damage. Oh, of course. Can I do it? Couple more parries. Might be able to get a retribution on it. Yeah, I probably should have, Yo, I should have dodged that. All right, I played the beginning of that horribly, but we're going to go into this and lock in, as the kids say, and we're about to, make it happen. I only died so I can get a picture of these gardens. I just almost jumped right on top of that because I'm sick at this game. Oh my god. See, I'm not letting its whole entire moveset telegraph out. See, like right there, I need to like pay attention. You know, it really helps to pay attention when you're fighting a boss. That's what they say. Oh my god, that was so close. And then go into Taki mode right now. Oh, this is an easy win. Yeah. There's no way it has a phase 2, right? Nope. Just some QTEs. Yep. You don't need that hand anymore. Looks like you don't need that head anymore either. Damn. I interrupted it to get a sick... Oh, wait. Yeah, I interrupted to get a sick picture, and it wasn't good, but then it paid off because the second picture was good. That was probably one of my favorite boss fights of the game. That one, and then this other boss called Belial. I think that's how you say it. So I appreciate you listening to me talk about Northern Lights, Berserk. I hope you were able to see the Northern Lights, by the way. And if not, I think it's one of those things like the solar eclipse, especially the total solar eclipses, where you should try and go out of your way to see it. Because, well, actually, so my girlfriend and I went out to look at the Northern Lights at around like 10:30, and there was just, it was okay. But then we went back inside, and we were inside for like 10 minutes, and she's like, you think we should go back out? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll try and bring my camera this time too. And we went back out there, and like I said, like 5 minutes into us being out there, and we were the only ones on the roof at this time, it peaked in the sky, and it was those photos that I showed earlier. Dude, I can't get it out of my head. I just cannot believe that I have the privilege of being alive and seeing something like that. It's just so remarkable. I'm so thankful for it, and I'm thankful for you as well. So I appreciate you watching, and hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.